Hi, Cinder Kamphoff here, high performance coach, here to help you master your mindset for a genius life. Last week I was on the local CBS station for my regular segment of 150 Seconds of Success. I've been on that station at least 20 times in the last year, sharing positive messages about mindset. I love it. There's something really exciting about going live on TV. It's thrilling, and I love to master it. But something was different that day. I was talking about pressure. And subconsciously, I started feeling the pressure the more I thought about pressure, and the more I thought about my message about pressure. It was wild. And when we went live, I fumbled over my first word. I took at least 1 minute out of the 2.5 minute segment just to get in the rhythm. And I made 3 mistakes, boom, right away. But I stuck it out. I kept going, kept working to make a connection with the audience, and kept working to make a connection with Cassandra, who was interviewing me. It certainly wasn't my best interview, but I had a few aha moments that day about pressure that I wanted to share with you. First, I realized when you're thinking about pressure, you're more likely to experience it because you experience a self-fulfilling prophecy. It starts changing your body and changing your mind. And that's exactly what it did for me last Thursday. Second, I realized it's always better to put yourself in the right state of mind before your interview, before your job interview, before your performance or your presentation, to avoid feeling the pressure. But if you feel it, you gotta keep on going. You gotta keep enduring it and working to be your best self. Because pressure is really in the mind of the beholder. It is our perception on if we feel pressure or not. And when you experience pressure compared to when I do, it can be different because each of us decides how we're gonna see the situation. And what you think about and what you feel determines the pressure that you will feel, determines the pressure that you're going to experience. We can feel pressure in situations that are important to us. That's usually when it occurs, when the outcome's important to us. At work, it could be a presentation or a meeting that has an important outcome, or a job interview. In sport, athletes tend to feel pressure during a big play that can determine the outcome of the game, or during playoffs. And heck, man, we can just experience pressure every day, just trying to get to work on time, or trying to get to a meeting on time, or dealing with the deadlines that we need to meet to be successful. We must learn to not only perform under the pressure to be successful, but to be effective. So here's 3 strategies that you can use the next time you experience pressure. The first strategy is you have to manage your self-talk, what you're saying in your mind, and you have to manage your body. Many times when we feel pressure, we're thinking of the worst possible outcome, and we're focused on that outcome, like the score, or if we're going to win or we're going to lose, instead of the process. And what happens is your heart rate increases, your voice gets shaky, and your body gets tense. So take a few deep cleansing breaths to stay calm and controlled, and to keep your body relaxed. And think of the best possible scenario to stay confident. Focus on what you need to do to be successful, or the process, not the actual outcome of the situation. Now, the second strategy is to see pressure as a privilege. See it as an incredible opportunity. If you weren't doing something meaningful, and if you hadn't had success in the past, you wouldn't be in that situation. So welcome the challenge. There's so much to gain. When you see pressure as a privilege, you start seeing it as a moment you can thrive in. And you're experiencing positive thoughts and emotions, something that leads to success. Okay, and the third strategy is to trust that you got it. Trust your stuff. You wouldn't be in the situation if you couldn't handle it. And so it's important to remind yourself of your successes. Kind of like a highlight reel, like when you're going to a movie. Imagine times that you've been successful in the past. And try to imagine something where you've been doing something similar. Be specific and remind yourself of the skills that you have to be successful. All right, given that the Broncos just won the Super Bowl, I'm going to end with my final thoughts. And that includes a quote by Peyton Manning, the Denver Broncos quarterback. He said, "Pressure is something you feel when you don't know what you're doing." Man, so good. And I think what Peyton is saying is there's no reason to feel pressure if you're prepared. There's no reason to feel pressure if you're focused on what you should be doing or the process. And you can reduce the pressure you feel when you see it as a privilege, when you welcome the challenge. There is so much to be gained from a situation where you can experience pressure. My friends, you have everything inside that you need to be successful. You just got to turn it on. Have an outstanding week, my friends, and be mentally strong.